Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Dan. Thank you for joining me here on Soundbooth Sessions here at the beautiful Sellersville Theater. Our show where we feature a concert and conversation with one of our favorite artists. I am so thrilled to welcome our artist this evening. You know why you're here. It's Jeffrey Gaines. I'm so excited. His most recent album has been critically acclaimed. It's called All Right, released in 2018. It's available from all your favorite online retailers. He does a live stream show every Sunday on Stage It at 8 p.m. So you can check him out tomorrow after you hear him here and enjoy him and want to hear him again. And of course, you can hear him live on our stage coming up here at Sellersville Theater on October 1st, God willing. You've seen him here recently as part of our Night of Stardust tribute to Bowie, which was unbelievable, and of course with Spin Doctors a little while back. I can't believe we have him here. I'm so excited. Let's get to the music. Ladies and gentlemen, please hover your clickers over the clap emoji and join me in welcoming all the way from the suburbs of Philadelphia, the amazing Jeffrey Gaines.
All right. Good evening. How are you? It's getting hard to believe how anybody really can feel anyone else. 'Cause every day some ungodly thing goes astray, and it weighs heavy on my heart. Where is relief? Yeah, what's the solution? Can somebody please pray for us all, yeah? What are we gonna do? What's this world coming to? Yeah, it's breaking my heart. It feels like it's all falling apart. Show me I'm wrong, please make me a liar. But don't wait too long, 'cause I am losing my faith. 'Cause everywhere it's the same delusion, and someone declares our kingdom must fall. Show me the way to resolution. Put weapons away, yeah, and save us all, yeah. What are we gonna do? What's this world coming to? Yeah, it's breaking my heart. It feels like it's all falling apart. Yeah, 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 yeah. What are we gonna do? What's this world coming to? Yeah, it's breaking my heart. Yeah. It feels like it's all falling apart. Yeah. There's something from Galore. Now, this is Toward the Sun record. Mitchell Froome and myself. Some cool players out in LA. Wonderful to be with you tonight. The worries of the world will subside. Open your heart, open your mind. Open up your arms and hold on tight. Burning my desire for you. All my dreams, they are coming true. Yes. Now you're more to me, more to you. There's more to us. There's more to living. Much more I know. More to be. So glad that we are beyond the beginning. Beautiful, the starlight on your skin. So glad we are beyond the beginning. I've waited so long, and now we're here. And finally it's me that is winning. Yearning like a young girl should. You and I, we have got it good. Yeah. Now you're more to me, more to you. There's more to us. There's more to living. Much more I know. More to be. So glad that we are beyond the beginning. Yeah, yeah. Super cool the way you make me feel. Easy cause the thing is so real. Just watching you smiling, your shy little way. Here with you is where I want to stay. Learning more with every touch. Never have I felt so much love. Now you're more to me, more to you. There's more to us. There's more to living. Much more I know. More to be. So glad that we are beyond the beginning. Beautiful, the starlight on your skin. So glad we are beyond the beginning.
Oh, Jeffrey. Yeah. Oh, I enjoyed those very much. Welcome to our stage once
Thanks
again,
for having me,
Jeffrey.
man.
How are you, man?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Welcome. It's so nice to see you. It's so nice to have you here. Folks are loving you in the comment section. There's a lot of love. Let me share with you some of these comments. Jane Wells says, you sound incredible. Patty Horn Spellman was very excited to hear Beyond the Beginning, which, of course, that was that last song you played. Perfection. Jennifer loves this. Wendy Wasserman, clapping a lot.
A lot.
Folks, you'll notice on your screen are the links to Jeffrey's Venmo and PayPal. You can help us both out, but of course support Jeffrey by clicking, commenting, and contributing as much and as often as you can. Thank you very much for being here. So Jeffrey, that last song you played, Beyond the Beginning, and then the one before that was Falling Apart. Of course, now we're in the middle of a pandemic and a quarantine and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
When you wrote that Falling Apart, what was the particular set of circumstances that you were been bemoaning and worried about, and how do they compare to what's going on in the world today?
It's actually, the funny part about life, as I'm watching it from a viewer, watching everybody responding to the now.
Yeah.
It's always been. It's just based on where you're focused in your life.
was thinking in 1992, the L.A. riots. You know, but in '92, you know, like we were just making records and going on tour, and you know, it's just like, you know what I mean? It's just like, where was your focus? And now it's just like our age group. I think it's just more like a symptom of our age group. We're home more, watching more newscasts and tuning in, possibly. You know, so you know, it's always been the same. That's the thing.
Do you think that's a good thing? The hyper focus right now. Everybody home watching their
being
Twitter
home,
feeds.
Being home is a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
You know, that's what you're supposed to be doing. So, and for me personally, I've always been I'm a homebody. I'm a singular. I'm kind of self-contented. So I don't really seek out. You know, I see a lot of people, and everybody's to each his own. But when I think that people want to go, and again, not to knock businesses. But there are folks who are just dying to go sit al fresco and have the drink.
Right.
Just sitting at a little, wobbly table and just with traffic going by and having like the same beer that you could probably have at home. And I'm thinking to myself, that's just not my thing. I would never go out to have the same beer that I'm like, I'd rather, what am I going to do out there? But I think it's maybe because I'm a performer. I think I keep forgetting that people are all looking for a place to perform, and they do it more socially. You know, they go to how about the guy when you go to a dinner party? There's a guy and a gal who tell the best jokes and love that floor, having the floor and just going for it. And you're like, what's making Bill do every joke? He stands up. He's got the hand gestures. He's doing he ought to be in stand-up comedy, but he's like, I don't want that responsibility of being a stand-up comic. I want to do it at outside deck parties and your living room. And he wants it but he still needs it. And I think maybe because I perform for a living and I've always gotten this off, and I do it on stage, and I'm like, that's my performing get off. Now I just want to go back to the hotel. Hopefully it's a nice place. You can put on the robe and just watch the channels. And you're like, yeah, but sometimes when you're in like Vegas or you're touring, like say in Miami, and like you look out the window, like New Orleans, you look out the window and see, man, there is a hella party going on.
Right.
And you're like, do you want to get in it? Yeah. And I'm like, no, it's so good right here, But that's just me. So, staying home is definitely paramount in a global pandemic. So.
Well, you mentioned that depends on what you're focusing on. What are the things that you've been focusing on these days, in these last 100 days of isolation?
Well, first we have we got the health and the COVID and things like that kicking in. Then mix that with the protests and the Black Lives Matter and the shootings and there's always violence. There's always news is always good. News is always good for I'm just thinking about I'm oftentimes thinking about problem resolve and how people can better themselves.
Yeah.
And you find that out too, just driving across America and just watching the traffic and people their inability to be like water in terms of the merge and the yield. Yeah, that's like this could work out if you didn't feel that you'd lost something in yielding to the person ahead of you. Just it would be so much smoother. And
you flow around the obstacle, not through it, right?
Yeah, so I see that quite a lot where people just are standing their ground. And, as a peaceful folk singer, I'm always like wishing I could somehow get out and parent.
Does the current climate, does it inspire you to write? Do you feel more needed than ever, or do you need clarity and peace to do what you do?
Well, I think also you feel like I think the we're focusing on us tonight, me tonight on this stage, but I think what it turns, I don't feel obligated to be the spokesperson for anything or anyone. I know there's been some quote that I'd read that, and gigs would say it before I go on stage, that I'm a voice of a generation, or I never knew what generation that was or who wrote that quote and how it's been said. But it's inadvertent. Like I didn't know that I was ever doing that. But this morning on GMA, I watched Will I Am and his Black Eyed Peas have a new song.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't know that anybody's really, anybody with the real camera pointed on them is really, using that time to do anything other than sort of. Their song didn't speak to anything now, and I was just like, but they're gonna, big bands are gonna get the megaphone, So I feel minute in the scheme of what my responsibility is. I don't know that I'd be given the floor. I mean, what I'm saying? Like most of the broadcasts are, I'm not even on that list, or I'm somehow behind a velvet rope and can't enter to speak. So what it creates is a less urgency on my part to feel like, and I will be the writer for the Times. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know if kids are listening to what I'm doing. So,
well, have you been writing? Have you been writing during this time?
No, I have not.
No.
So, no, I've not. I've been surviving, and I've been thinking
that's the job, right?
Yeah,
That's
actually,
a big enough job.
I'm just like writing. Again, these are all like writing is something that I've never really done. That I was aware of it. Like, I mean, songs just kind of happen. I feel like I could do it at any point in time. You know what I mean? It's like there's like that's the way I write songs. Like it's like, hey, we need you to write a song. Okay, all right. I'll stop watching TV or stop looking at sunsets and flowers and trees, and then you could just focus it. But I've only focused it generally when there's some sort of project on the horizon.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very about the work. It's not a thing where a lot of people like write in their they journal, and that gives them some sort of just the writing process gives them a feeling of something.
Right.
I really kind of put all those thoughts off to the side, and it doesn't serve me to like write about my feelings or anything like that. It's not my thing. It's like a lot of there's like there's like a dude factor, like some sort of high school Votech part of me that's like put the work off until you have to do it.
The procrastinator.
Yeah, because and I'm not really even procrastinating because there's no deadline, there's no test coming up.
Right.
So it's not as if I'm stalling or anything.
But you trust in your own ability that when you need it, you can produce.
Yeah, because that's been the process so far, and that has not. In terms of getting material, it has not failed me. Now, you can say since that material didn't sell millions of copies for the labels that put them out, maybe I'm sure there's some sort of failure. But I mean, you have to juggle it when you go into the business side of writing songs, and you get signed by a label and you put them out commercially. Then there's that aspect that has nothing really to do with your success as a writer internally. Like I know that that had to be written for me, and it made a lot of sense, and it completed a lot, and radio couldn't play it, or so in completely completely terms that you're not even considering, it fails. But the listenership, the people who find me, seem to value what I'm doing, and they're also people who are sort of like not being their decision making isn't run by the media, so they find their artists and they find the people that they like without it being blasted to them.
Yeah. So. Well, we've got a good number of those followers of yours here in the crowd tonight. Currently, we have 120 people watching, which I'll tell you is a Soundbooth Sessions record. So congratulations, Jeffrey. You have brought the most people to Soundbooth Sessions. Well done. Jeffrey, can we get some more music?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You don't have a set list, do you? So you're just flying by the seat of your pants. Can you talk us through through what criteria are you going to choose this next song?
The criteria is really literally when I was a kid in 11th grade in high school, 12th grade also, I would check out of. I took general, again, not really pushing myself. I took general, and my guidance counselor told me that I had already graduated as far as credits. So I just drifted the 12th grade year.
Sweet.
I was like, oh, cool, I graduated already? Cool. So I took the least amount of classes. I had like 3 classes mandatory, and the rest was then gym and lunch, and then the second half of the day was just off. And my art teacher, Mr. Ackery, would sign me out passes to come down, out of it, because you would have to remain in study hall. But he'd say, I need him in the art room. That was great. He'd just write me a pass every day, and I'd just spend the second half in the art room assisting him. That was the guise of it, but then I'd drift off into the auditorium, and I'd pick up a nylon string acoustic guitar from Mr. Fowler in the music room. He'd know what I was going to go do, and I'd come into an empty hall such as this, and I would play for the self-pleasure. So the selection of the next song at all of my concerts is, what's the next one I want to hear?
Yes.
So
right.
It's self-pleasuring ultimately.
Well, Jeffrey, what do you want to hear?
All throughout history, you made sure your conscience be clear. But there's 2 sides to every story. Here's what you don't want us to hear: that they once had harmony, and you could not understand how they could live so free. You drove them off of their land. Then you made laws to serve only you, and you laughed at their spiritual way. Are you deserving of praise or blame? For they'll never be the same. Are you deserving of praise or blame? For they'll never be the same. But they once were royalty, but you could not measure their worth until you sold them like property. The salt from their sweat fed the earth. You shipped them away, they worked your newfound land. You stripped them and gave them new names. Are you deserving of praise or blame? For they'll never be the same. Are you deserving of praise or blame? For they'll never be the same. They once had God-given grace, truly a gift to behold. But soon life's light leapt from their face. Dark within your household, you made them take vows to serve and obey. You really must have been afraid. Are you deserving of praise or blame? For they'll never be the same. Are you deserving of praise or blame? For they'll never be the same. Are you deserving of praise or blame? For they'll never be the same. Are you deserving of praise or blame? For they'll never be the same.
So you write something like that, and you think that only now are people renaming institutions and pulling monuments down. And that song is about that, and just waiting for its time to be within the consciousness of the present day society. When I'm just waiting, like I write these songs and they mean something. They've always meant something. It's just, when will you come around and understand what I've been talking about?
Unbelievable. A perfect time for these days.
I realized they meant no harm and that they'd seen the truth. These men and women, young and old, who tried to mold my youth, they were only teaching me how to get through life, how to punch the clock and get a home and get a wife. They knew I was searching for things I'd never find, so they tried to break my mind by paddling my behind, all for the love of an innocent mind. They were the blind, leading the blind, yeah, all for the love of molding young minds. They were too kind, headmasters of mine. They themselves were products of a past society. They themselves were victims of the same atrocity. Yeah. I realize I must forgive, but I will never forget. These men and women, young and old, I'm forever in your debt. They were only teaching me how to run the race and fill my position with a smile upon my face. And don't ask a question if it isn't from the text. Throw me out into the hole and ask who wants to be next. All for the love of an innocent mind. But they were the blind, leading the blind, yeah. All for the love of molding young minds. But they were too kind, headmasters of mine, yeah. I feel it's really sick, so much is wasted. There's so much food for thought that never is tasted. Just read the instructions and simply fill out the form. And whatever you do, my son, don't stray from the norm. All for the love of an innocent mind. They were the blind, leading the blind, yes. All for the love of molding young minds. They were too kind, headmasters of mine. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh, folks, you're listening to the wonderful Jeffrey Gaines. That was Headmasters of Mine. Amazing song. Jeffrey, let me share some of the comments here from the comment section. Everybody's loving it. Michelle Leach Scanlon, after being a fan of yours for over 20 years, finally got to see you live this past year and was blown away. Wendy Wasserman is clapping a lot. Anu Kieran tells us, Sellersville, that they would show up every day to listen to you sing.
Hey, thank
Hey,
you.
that's good.
That is great.
More Jeffrey. What else do we have to say here? Lots of thumbs up, lots of applause. Only good thing about the pandemic is more Jeffrey Gaines. So Jeffrey, that Headmaster song, that begs the question, is that autobiographical? Did you have problems with some teachers at school, or
Possibly, I had problems with the just the nature of it, the nature of the preparation for. Most of the time, I think all you guys are doing is preparing us to be good employees.
ooh, yeah,
You know, it's a lot of sort of there's like a level of subservience like put into the curriculum that you will just sort of adhere to things rather like let's say like this is live on Facebook, right?
it is, yes.
The cat that invented this format for us to be playing on may have been tardy, and tardy had nothing to do with. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like what he was excellent at had nothing to do with some of the principles that school is just really force feeding you, and you're like, that, you know, what does that have to do with it so much? And I just was just always asking the wrong question. There's just questions that would like be sort of detrimental to the system, to the fabric. And I'm like, let's pull this thread and see where you go. And the teacher would be like, and the flustered nature would come. And I'm like, I'm not really trying to fluster you, but if you are my instructor, I want you to handle. I want you to show me that you can handle.
Right.
If I pull your thread, you don't fall apart. Because you're in front of us teaching, and you know, don't tell me that all you've learned how to do is the way it was taught to you to teach us. Show me that your feet are on the ground firmly, and I'm listening to you because you can handle if somebody shakes the foundation that you're And I was like, I'm looking for an education. Show me this. And I'm always, you know, it's always messing a little bit, but I feel that way in everything. Like when I'd go see bands in the 80s when I was a kid, you know, sneaking into clubs, I would walk up to the front, and there was at that period of time, there were a lot of front men and bands that were sort of projecting this, you know, machismo. We're really tough and cool, and we're rocking. And I'm like, but if you could stand there and shake them, in a sense, just by not being not being your audience member that they're used to. But just maybe make a perplexed face and stare right at a guy.
See what they do.
And just watch him lose all that. Because he knows how to do the act of cool, but cool would know how to handle me and put my 15-year-old self in my place.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
But like if we could rattle you, then that's not great. You know, like we're looking for the great band that you know, you go see Iggy and you try to mess with him, he's gonna mess you.
Yes.
You know, Henry Rollins. Henry Rollins would be like, if you try, you know, they were like, we're prepared for every eventuality, dude. Yeah. And that was like, and then we'd be like, yeah, you got us, you know, because my little gang, we'd come as a little pack and just be like, we got a band too, man. And we think, you know, it was just like, so it's like I've always had that sort of poke at it nature. So I probably come at education, come at learning, just possibly different than the norm. So that was what that song's about. Definitely autobiographical.
Well, to pivot that question a little bit, I'm wondering about your gifts, your voice, your guitar playing. Were you taught how to do those things, or were those things natural to you? You were born with them. Did you ever have a music lesson or a voice lesson?
I mean, just to have to admit to all the musicians, I still can't play the guitar. That's
I beg
cool.
to differ. Come on now.
No. I mean, like there's like accompanying yourself.
Yes.
And then there's playing the guitar. So if I get a band, I get a guitar player who knows the instrument. I've ended up playing guitar sort of as like it's default. It's been a backup. And I'm very comfortable with it, and I know what I'm doing, and we weave together well. But I'm probably not really a good guitar player per se, and that's more just about not paying the attention to it. There are guys that love it. There's people that Marcus King I'm watching and enjoying vicariously watching his ride through life and music, and Gary Clark Jr. I'm enjoying these guys and like how the world is opening up to them and the journey they're going on, because they spend a lot more time. They spend a lot more time in the learning the guitar, and I've
the technical aspects.
Yeah, they
could
could just burn all night. You know, they could just burn all night, and they get like the mad respect. There's lots more respect for guitar players, guitar virtuosity than there are for vocal. So I'm like, I'm singing. I'm like, there's no, like you could go, like there are people who don't sing at all and have complete guitar concerts. They'll fill up a place.
That's you, Tommy Emmanuel.
Yeah, they'll just fill up a place doing solos. But like, there's very rarely is there like people following vocals. And like, I don't think even people are tuned into what sometimes what singers are actually doing and how hard some of those things that they make look easy. I think that happened because whereas I'm into being a singer, people as audience members are into what you're saying. So if what you're singing, all your strength as a vocalist might not get one person in the seat if they don't find what you're saying satisfying. Hence, you can have somebody who doesn't sing at all fill the crowd because people are like, I love what they're saying.
Although on the other hand, we do have TV shows like The Voice, which is only about the quality of a person's voice and not about the quality of their songwriting. So there's another side.
It's coming, possibly.
Maybe.
It's coming, but, yeah, it is coming. But, I'd like to, no, I wouldn't. I was about to say I'd like to go, be a judge on a show like that.
I was going to say, you would crush on The Voice.
Yeah, but the kids would be like, dude, I'm on The Voice and you have just some records out. I've already surpassed you. Stop. Yeah, enough with your opinions.
Well, but so, but,
they'd
but,
be
so,
right.
but so
like,
your voice.
get it.
I mean, did you have this voice from a child, or?
Yeah. I have.
It's just so massive and it's so
Thanks,
perfect and expressive.
Wow. Listen, I always tell everybody that if you have the power of speech, you could be a singer. You can be a singer. It's just you might be coming at it a little late. Where I learned singing along with speech. Like singing was like music was the first thing going. If you think about it, and you don't really know you're thinking about it, but I always make this joke about being born and then being, they take you from your mother and they put you in a nursery, and the nurse on staff is just soothing all these people's children with some sort of lullaby. So she starts humming a melody, and then as your little human consciousness is opening up, and you're seeing someone soothe you with song. And you glee, you make a little glee face, and nowadays they put those kids on YouTube. Listen to them listening to music,
Right.
and all that stuff is the first initial go.
Yeah.
Everything, kids in my generation, we wouldn't know the alphabet if it wasn't put to melody. And, everything is a song. Every lesson they taught you was some sort of sing along, and all I did was take that seriously. You go to people's parties and they have they're talking up here, but they have some record or something playing the music in the background. And if you're in that situation and don't care what the adults are talking about, and you're sitting at the kids' table, I'm going to listen to the music primarily. Right. And now I'm tuning you guys out. I'm tuning speech and interaction up here, because it's and I always felt that again, I think you could sit in a conversation and talk with someone, but I would rather you go home, take your thoughts, sift them down, whittle them down to the point, and then come back to me with the song, Right. And because that'll be that's the most well constructed.
Yes.
You've articulated it, and you erased a few times, you crumbled a few of them up, threw it out.
Just editing,
and then you find when you say I'm done, then you now tell it to me, and hopefully you'll sing it to me. So if I start losing your content, if I start fading a little, I can enjoy the melody you put it to. So that's me too. Yeah. I always figured I'm not the guy at the party who will just talk and think that I'm so charismatic that'll hold you. I'm I don't think I'm any of those things, so I better make it hugely as entertaining as I physically possibly can. So I took my speaking voice and then just extended it into learning how to sing, listening to all of the greats. There's really no need to list any of the singers, because I always feel that it's super transparent. You can hear all of them that I'm nodding to throughout. Yeah. What do you want to hear? Is any requests in there?
Well, if you're going to take request, I have one. And it's a cover, if that's all right. It's one of your covers. I'm a big fan of your In Your Eyes, but I'm going to request The First Time Ever I Saw Your Face, which
Seriously?
is one of my absolutely favorite songs.
You may want to like dim the lights.
Is that all right?
Yeah, I mean, if you could dim the lights.
I can dim the
you
lights.
Get some mood. That's quite a romantic song to come out of Jokes and then into.
Well, it's your voice, man. It's
Yeah.
it's the way you sing it and the way you phrase it.
I mean, no. Is there any way you could not lose our light, but the house?
Oh yeah, of course.
Darken the house. So
Yeah,
I
of
think
course.
people are here.
Yeah, nobody can see that at home, but I'll just for you.
Yeah.
Do you want me to put a different picture over my face so you can sing to somebody else? Who do you want to be singing to, Jeffrey?
Wow.
That's
So
right.
many names come to mind.
That's right. Wow. Toss at least one out, and I'll do my best impression.
The first time ever I saw your face, I thought the sun rose in your eyes, and the moon and the stars were the gifts you gave to the dark, and the endless skies, my love, to the dark, and the endless skies. And the first time, yeah, ever I kissed your mouth, I felt the earth move in my hand, like the trembling heart of a captive bird that was there at my command, my love, and it was there at my command, my love. And the first time, yeah, ever I lay with you, I felt your heart so close to mine, yeah. And I knew our joy, it would fill the earth, and last until the end of time, my love, yeah. and it would last to the end of time, my love. And the first time ever I saw, yeah, your face, your face, your face, your face, yeah.
Oh my goodness. I'm weak in the knees, Jeffrey Gaines.
Bless your heart.
That is gorgeous. How did you why that song? What do you love about that song? Why cover it?
It made an impression on me. I mean, I was a little kid first time I heard it. I saw it in a Clint Eastwood film called Play Misty for Me.
Uh-huh.
And he was a jazz DJ, like Monterey up there, and he just featured it. He's a big music fan, and he can do anything he wants, you know, and bring in music to score his film. And he used it in its entirety, which I thought was pretty sweet.
Which version is that? Is that the Roberta Flack
It's
one?
the Roberta Flack version that would made the impression. I think it
Yeah.
also because it was set up in that cinematic that film, that grainy film stock of a great old movie, and but at the time it's just like it's a quality of this, the look of it, and so Clint's there, and he's trying to resolve this. He's trying to save one relationship that he really believes in. Of course, he's been a dude, and of course he's there's been indiscretions and reasons why she doesn't trust him. Like he'd already broken trust, but he's like, oh, it's gonna be better, you know. So when they get a little moment together, and then there they are in the redwoods and they're making love and everything. It's all shot perfect. The movie telling of a love making, and he uses the Roberta Flack song to just push it along, and the way that it just pulses along, slow and steady and building, and it's beautiful. The marriage between the two, the music and the visual, and at that point in time, I mean, was at the drive-in movies, and my parents were like, all right, let's go. This movie might be a little serious for the kids, you know. So they're like, and I'm like, no, just watching as we're pulling away, and I was like, that song. And so it made a weird impression, and it's something that I always just wanted to sing. I like to try to do things. I mean, and again, I've been singing it a long time. Like before I'd recorded it, I had just played around with singing it as a child and stuff, and just as my voice grew and changed, it became different, different, and my experience and then my life experience sort of filled in some gaps, and you can just sort of go into your mind and think it through, and
it suits your voice, I mean, so perfectly. Those notes right there at the, I don't know if that's the top of your range, but it's certainly like, you know, you go for them and you get them, and
yeah, it's fun to shape around. I mean, it's like cool to not to sing it in the natural tuning as well. So just keep it just the same tuning where it would be, and that's cool. You know,
when you go to interpret a song like that, how mindful are you of choosing an arrangement or a presentation, or does it just kind of it's in there, you've digested it, and then you let it come out in just your own way?
I think for me, the arrangements, I've not really done too much in the way of like rewriting or restructuring songs. My arrangements are just that I'm simplifying the chords, simplifying the arrangement, because playing solo acoustic, you know, there's not a lot of room for more. So I just get right to the point. I mean, so you take a song that could, even like people who've written the song, and it's their fulfillment. You know, they know why they've written it, but even that message can be obstructed or obscured by the producer, the personnel,
Sure.
like the amount of instruments, where they're put in the mix, and whether it's a wash, an overall just a wash of sound. And then when I do it, it's like it can't be a wash of sound, you know. So sometimes there's like a direct immediacy that happens. It would also have happened for them had they chosen to. If they, you know, I'm more referring to this Peter Gabriel thing. Like,
Sure.
He came to a show and wanted me to perform it and watch it. He wanted to watch it live from a seat, and he watched.
No
it live.
pressure, Jeff. Right? No pressure.
Not at all. Like I mean, I should. If I were more. If I were a better. If I were more knowledgeable about all the people that I should have been scared of. I would have probably, but you know, so I've never been afraid to just sing it with anyone. And then later on, they'll go, "Do you know who that was?" And they're like, "Nah, we was just burning. We was just both burning on the microphone." And they're like,
Right.
"You just sang with," you know, and they'll tune me in later. But so I'm never scared when music is the language. But
Man.
so Peter's sitting there and he watches it go down, and then later on, we're talking backstage, and he says. You know, he was affected by what I'm really saying. Like in the stripped down version, the point is the only thing. So you receive it like real immediate. And there's no clothes on. It's just like stripping naked and owning it. So, you know, it was a nice compliment that he said, "I wish I had done it like you." And I'm like, no, you don't, because yours is a hit, and mine would have been you wouldn't have heard it. You know, it's just it's
Well,
like
yours was a hit as well.
You gotta just trust, man. Like, you know, I think it was a sweet compliment, and he told me that I could come by the house anytime.
Oh, have you been up to Real World or?
Yeah, no, I'm like, what? I'm just seeing me. I just visualize myself at some pearly gate, and you know. And just like, hello, talking to an intercom. It's me.
It's me. It's Jeffrey Gaines.
It's me. And then a golf cart coming with Jeeves just like, please.
Oh, how cool is that?
Leave or we'll call the police. I'm like, no, but Pete said come by, man. Anyway.
Well, now have you ever been in that position reversed? Have you ever been sitting in the front row when somebody covered a Jeffrey Gaines song?
Yes, I have. I'm very proud about that. And the best part about the people who are covering my songs is how much I can see it means to them. You know what I mean? Like nowadays, people, there's a guy on YouTube that does me quite frequently.
Yeah.
And,
Who's that?
You know, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh. Erase that.
Yeah.
We'll edit
no,
that out
I
in
mean,
post.
like, no, I mean, it's not like I hung on to it, but like
Yeah.
I see him all the time, and yeah, again, I just basically I'll take his post and I'll put it on my Facebook page for the fans
Cool.
to see. But what it's about is how much it means to him to really be digesting and getting inside of my songs. So I feel it's a wonderful fulfillment, really. You feel good about that. Like these are from 5-subject notepad. You know, these little back to school note things. I write songs down in little, just little sketches. You know, I'm sure you've seen handwritten lyrics, but they don't look like much. So when they go out to the world and people like take them in, I'm blown away that my thoughts, my mother and father's kid they made, you know, is affecting people all around the world sometimes. And it's pretty sweet.
Well, Jeffrey, let me share with you a few of the comments that are coming in. There was a lot of love for that song. I'm
You called it, man.
happy. A lot of people clapping, happy about that. Friends in the comments, I'll call your attention at the bottom of the screen are the addresses for Jeffrey's Venmo and PayPal accounts. So open a new browser window so you don't lose the concert and head on over there and contribute as generously as you can, of course. $20 suggested donation for this amazing show. If you were here in person, it would have cost way more than that. Okay, Wendy Wasserman. Wow, that was insane. She loved that. Here we go. I'm scrolling through the sound of scrolling. Keep bringing Jeffrey back. Oh, lots of people requesting their favorite songs. Come out tonight. Hello, Jeffrey from Austin, Texas. And hello from hometown in Harrisburg. You're from Harrisburg.
I'm from Harrisburg.
Good old Harrisburg.
Yeah.
Teresa asked if we can post the links to the chip jar. Yes, Teresa, they are pinned in the comments. Everybody, the Links to the tip jars are pinned in the comments. Jeffrey, what are you going to play for us now?
Well, when you talked about pick somebody, in my mind for the first time ever I saw your face, I picked someone.
Who were you imagining?
I picked someone.
Who
and
was
I
it?
wrote this song for her.
Who is it? Tell us.
It's Giselle Bundchen. And but it's like it's 1998.
I'm afraid she's taken.
Yeah, but 1998, it was, it was wide open, so to speak. She's happily, so I thought I'd do some sort of, some Off in the Bushes, Cyrano de Bergerac for Tom Brady. I was like, dude, tell her this, man. Just go ahead and tell her this, maybe she'll.
I know it's hard to count on anything, 'cause no one knows just what tomorrow brings. Still here we are, we've shared so many years. We've come this far, there ain't nothing to fear. You will see, you and me will.
Now, if I was at a real gig, I'd stop just like that and just be like, turn some of the reverb down.
Okay.
And so this is from when people who come to see me live, they're like, dude, he stops whenever it ain't right. Ain't no worries.
That's good. This is live, folks. Proof it's live.
Proof it's live. Plus, I didn't like my story. This song ain't about her. What it was about what it turned into. I mean, yes, initially it was that, but then I realized very quickly. It wasn't about a singular entity. It wasn't about a one person. It was about, for me, it was about the audience and the love affair that I've had going with them. Because that was my primary love relationship. And there's a lot of people that come and go. They're like, there's a lot of people that come and go. They're like, I was into you because, I was going to concerts more. I was in college, and your stuff got me through a particular time. And then my life got serious. So blah, blah, blah. I don't listen to music as much. And I was like, dude, it's okay. I count it. I count the segment. And maybe you've moved on to other bands or other acts, and now you're into but I'm not going to, you cannot deny that, that period, that moment in time, for me, will always be. So that's how it made sense.
I know it's hard to count on anything, 'cause no one knows just what tomorrow brings. Still here we are, we've shared so many years. We've come this far, there ain't nothing to fear. You will see, you and me will always be. You will see, you and me will always be. I know this world can sometimes bring you pain. Believe me, girl, it's gonna be okay. You ask me how it is that I'm so sure, 'cause with every day I love you more. You will see it, you and me will always be. You will see it, you and me will always be. Me and you and me, yeah. You know it's true. know this sounds too good to be true, but I devote my whole life to you. And if my life should end, my love goes on, and you will always have this song. Yeah, you will see it. You and me will always be. Yeah, you will see it. You and me will always be. Yeah, always be. Yeah, always be. Yeah, always be.
What's that?
Beautiful. What album is that off, Jeffrey? That's on a new one, isn't it?
No, that's actually, it's on an album called Always Be.
Oh. Well, that makes sense.
No, I mean, why not? Why not, right? Yeah, titles are not really my thing.
How do you mean?
I mean, when I wanted to do, when I first got my debut album, I wanted to just do a double record right off the bat, and they were just like, you can't do that. So I was like, well, just call it me. Just call it Jeffrey Gaines.
Jeffrey Gaines.
And then I wanted
Here I am.
Then I just wanted to be like, and then 2 and 3 and 4, you know? It's like, that would have been cool by me, because I never think about them. I never think about like these records as, in fact, I'm not even like a record geek who enjoys like the scope from across the album, like, and then like, oh, it's a whole way that you have to listen. I just picked when I'd buy records, I'd rip the plastic off, and it was like bubble gum to me, in a way. Like, you just get rid of the package, and most people like read the liner notes and they know where it was recorded and who played what.
Yes.
And like, I just get the words away, and I'd put the thing on, and then I'd pick around. I never really listened to anybody's album as some sort of work of complete, listen. I was just like, I like this one, and just scratching up albums, just jumping the needle around, And some songs were worn out, and some others had not been touched at all. You know what I mean? It was like, I could tell, like, Dick Clark, I'm just like, in a couple of seconds, nope, not
the 30-second test.
Yeah, not gonna be my jam, and I would just skip around. So
that's interesting. Do you treat your own albums the same way? You don't think of them as a cohesive?
No, basically, when I'm doing records, I just I listen to tops and tails, so to speak. It's like, ooh, how does this one end, and how nicely does it go into the next? Those are like, just like that'll do. But you try to, that's really mostly all I'm listening to, is how they crossfade. Is it weird, or sometimes you want it to be weird and abrupt. Sometimes
jarring.
you do want it to be like, and then like really come out of that last one, like really come way out of that. So that's mostly the way I'm listening to it. But since I'm not writing the songs in a group ever, really, I'm not really going, and here's the blue period. I will sort of, when I compile a record, when I consider songs to go on an album, I'll sort of find things that sound alike, but they weren't written in the same time period.
I see.
So sometimes you'll like have to jump around, and that this is from this year, that year, and this one's from that year, but they make sense together. So we'll bring them together. But
so you have some big repository at home of all the songs you're amassing over the years, and you just kind of pick them. And
I do.
So when you have a new album project, it's just which songs are the most salient, which are the most relevant for right now? Is that?
Yeah, that's also been decided by when you find out who the personnel is. When you find out like who's playing on the record, who do we hire to be the drummer, or who do we find to be the bass player, and you go, man, I got some songs that would not have made sense unless it was those guys.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, if that's going to be the band, well, then I have a whole new idea of what songs we're going to approach.
Well, no, that sounds like the band is thrust upon you. Aren't you picking your musicians who you're going to make a record with?
I'm picking my musicians,
Yeah.
but you're picking them from the pool that's ready when you're ready.
Oh, that's
So
interesting.
when you get a record deal and the label's ready to spend and provide you the opportunity to do it, you find out when that is, and you're like, because they're generally, if you get the deal, they kind of they want some results pretty immediately, so they put you in their calendar, and then you say, oh, so we're going to be recording in spring. Okay, well, who's not already on tour? Do you know what I mean? It's like that. It's like, oh, well, it landed this, so the guys I might have been thinking about can't come off of that tour they just got. That's a really good thing. They're not going to be available. So you find out who's free within that time that you're going to be doing it, and so that's how you can't really pre-know who you're getting. You have your wish list, but when my opportunity comes, they might be off doing something else that you just couldn't get them off of. And it's always economic too. It's like, hey, I'd love to play. Hey, I'd love to play, but
Right.
I'm out with Sting, and you can't match that.
Right.
You can't match that budget, bro. I'd love to do your record, but see ya.
Now, every time I've seen you, you've been just you and a guitar. Have you ever had a band that you considered yours? Like, is there ever a Jeffrey Gaines band?
You know, I have to say, the way you worded it, I have to be specific to the way you worded it. I've never had a band that I considered mine.
Okay.
That would have maybe been pretty cool. I've had a lot of people who've lent themselves to a period of time of touring with me, but my band, maybe not so much that kind of feeling. 1994, I did a thing. Somewhat Slightly Dazed was the record, and I took a band out for a period of the summer. We might have done, maybe we did 3-4 months. I don't know, but we were able to do the album together. We went out on tour, and it was one of those. It was '94, and there's no tour support, and we just we spent more than we made doing it. And when I say we, I mean me, because they got paid, and I don't know how some nights, and because clubs were like totally happy having me play solo.
Yeah.
And they had the 92, 93 tour,
Right.
where they're like, we love you, man, just come in. So you've decided to bring a band? That doesn't mean that we've decided to pay you more for that band. Like, we have a deal with you. Right. We have a deal with you, and we've booked you.
Right.
And it was your decision to bring a band, but we're not going to pay you more for that band. So here's what you get, and here's what here's what you normally get, and I'll make that work. So so it's like, it was fun, and we had the 15-seat van and the trailer and the equipment and seven adults, and so it's like two rooms, and 2 people in a room, 2 people in a room,
Everybody
2 people in a
getting
room.
cozy.
And me, I was like, dude, I gotta be solo because I need to go to sleep. You can party and bring people back and have your fun, be in a band,
Right.
do that stuff. But I mean, I got like the morning radio station in whatever Cleveland town we're in. I gotta wake up and do the morning drive at
Sure.
rock radio. So I can't do it. I can't have any fun. So I need a quiet room away from you knuckleheads. So. But those guys are great, and we had a great time. And my whole objective, mostly, I was like, I hope I just get you guys all home safe. I had a guy, Mike Giblin, who played bass for me. He and I started out together in a high school band, and so I knew I was taking him away from his wife, who maybe possibly didn't think he was going to do music in that kind of out-of-town way.
Yeah.
So my thing was just like, man, all these flights, all this late night driving, just get him home safe to his, have this thing. And I know his parents, and I'm just like, just didn't want anything bad to happen.
Right.
Any rock and roll stories, and like, that Jeffrey Gaines. So I was like, I felt so good in a way. I was like, because so that's how I feel about it sometimes, like having my own band. I feel like I've made the commitment to put myself in, say, all kind of jeopardy and treat my treat my flesh and blood like parcel. You know, I've made that commitment to these songs. And so, you know, I'll get on a rickety flight, you know, and every time we're on something ridiculous, you know, you're thinking of Buddy Holly and the Big Bopper, and you're like, I'm cool with that.
Right.
I'm cool with that because I've made my commitment to living in that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm single, and you know, I'm like not really a family guy, you know. So I'm total rock and roll without the tattoos. It's I don't need to show you. It's in there, you know, all the way. But I mean, sometimes I'm like, you probably might want to do. You sure? Like for my dream, like for my songs, you know. And there's also been songs that I've written where I'm like, I don't even know if this guy playing bass or playing guitar, I don't even know if he agrees with my ideology. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
I don't even know, like, cause like I'll write the songs myself and I'll go record it, and sometimes you're like, are we in the same head? I've got a song, you know, I've got some songs that can separate a room. You know,
Oh, sure.
And you never know if like your fellas believe what you're saying, or do that thing. I've been on stage with people who I've sort of glanced over, and they didn't know I was glancing, and they're doing the eye roll, like, oh, I don't know about this guy again. And I'm like, you can't really do that on stage, like. They're seeing it all, like, you know, and I'm like, but you just go, oh, he hates this song because it doesn't suit him politically, you know. I put I've said something kind of real, you know, strong, and he's like, hey, I'm not with that guy. When the shit, you know, when it hits the fan, I'm not with that guy. Right. And I'm like, so I've never really had a band that's just like do or die, all of us, you know.
Well, this most recent album, All Right, has quite a band on it. This is that's the one made with Elvis Costello's band, correct?
Yeah, the Imposters.
The Imposters, right? And now, how did that come about? Did you know those guys? Were you already buds, or they were in town at the time? What?
Well, the record was going to be made in Hollywood, and that's where everybody was located. Everyone lives there, and so it's like it's a kind of a grouping. It's kind of a grouping. You got a couple of guys from the Imposters, and Val McCallum on guitar. His day job is Jackson Browne. He plays guitar for him, and he and I had worked together on a 2003 album of mine, and always sort of vowed that we'd get together and do some more work because we liked each other's style. So he, you know, was in a group with Davey Farragher and Pete Thomas. So. They have a little group already, so to me to have an already rehearsed rhythm section that was home and local, kind of made a lot of sense to use them. So, and a young guy from the same Omnivore Records family, Chris Price, took care of producing it, because we would, in the short period of time, budgetarily speaking, in the short period of time to put all that together, we'd need somebody, you know, that was kind of a whiz at a multi-instrumentalist to just be so rapid about the ability to record as quickly and you know, have a real good sense of the overall sounds of things. So we didn't spend a lot of time on miking things and getting a sound. It's like, you know, Chris Price having a knowledge of playing all those things. It happened so quick.
How long did it take you? How quick are we talking?
It's 2 week. It's a 2 week record.
A 2 week record.
Yeah.
From start to finish, band meeting, hearing the songs for the first time.
Oh yeah, there's no pre any of that, and so the best part about it, the best part about that was like, you know, Pete Thomas is like, I'm glad you picked songs that are kind of already common ground, because like I could tell you like Elvis Costello, and I can hear some of that in these songs. So that makes it so much quicker to like.
It's in their wheelhouse.
I know where you're coming from. Yeah. Just stop explaining. Let's go cut one.
We get it.
So it was quick like that. That was really fun to.
So how did you break that out for like how many songs on the record? Like.
There's only 10.
10 songs on the record for over 2 weeks. So that's like a song a day, a little more than a song a day, or
it's a little like it's I think what it is, it's really the rhythms we're doing two to three a day of like the rhythm thing, you know. And I cut those guys loose early.
Right.
Once
and then start layering.
Yeah, then you start. Yeah, me and Chris would just be like, now what would we add on top of, you know? So it's really, you know, it was fun.
That
You
sounds
know?
great. All right, give us a few more tunes. Jeff, I want to be respectful of your time here. We're at 10:15. Are you okay to play a little bit more? Another?
Yeah, if they're
song or
all
two?
right. I don't want to.
Oh.
And again, I don't like with these online things. I think to myself, maybe you'll get a response to this, but like I never want to absorb your evening like this. You know.
I'll tell you what, your audience has hung with you. We still have the same 140 people watching
All right, 'cause
we had at the beginning.
Yeah, it's tough on us, Saturday night, the weather's breaking. Do you want to be fixed at your computer? Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that. I like to see these pictures of people that like they'll take it from the Facebook and they've got the link, they can put it on the big screen
Yes.
TV and they're having it their way, which is
That's
pretty
exactly
cool.
right. We're getting comments. I can listen all night, play all night. They're cheering you on.
Fireflies lit the night. I was holding you so tight. Nothing else could feel so right. It felt like falling. I took your breath into my lungs. You and I became one. There ain't no place we can run from this calling. And I accept an unexpected surprise. And I am thankful for what you're bringing to my life. Yeah. Well, tonight, gonna love you like there ain't no tomorrow. Yeah. Well, tonight, gonna love you down in Firefly Hollow. Yeah. Thunder crashes above, below flashes of love. Cast a glimpse on what's to come, your body trembling. Summer symphony is sound, playing soft in the background. While we get lost in what we found, what are we assembling? And I adventurously go where I am led. Listening only to my heart and not my head. Yeah. Well, tonight, gonna love you like there ain't no tomorrow. Yeah. Well, tonight, gonna love you down in Firefly Hollow. Yeah. Yeah. I will adventurously go where I'm led, listening only to my heart and not my head. Yeah. Well, tonight, gonna love you like there ain't no tomorrow. Yeah. Well, tonight, gonna love you down in Firefly Hollow. Yeah. Well, tonight, gonna love you like there ain't no tomorrow. Yeah. Well, tonight, gonna love you down in Firefly Hollow.
Love that tune.
Thank you so much.
Jeffrey, I want to thank you so much for being here. Folks at home, I want to let you know that because I know you haven't got enough, tomorrow Jeffrey has a live stream concert on Stage It. How does that work? Is that similar format to this, Jeffrey? You just play songs? And
It's a similar format, of course.
no interview, I guess.
It's not in an awesome theater, man.
Where do you
You
do it
know?
from? Do you do it from your
I do it-
bedroom?
No, I mean, no, I don't. I go to where they'll have me. I've got some. I get by with a little help from my
From
friends.
your friends, of course.
And right now, I've been doing it in Town Bank, New Jersey, at a beach house in progress.
Oh, hey now.
And, it's an empty corner of a room as they're doing construction, but they've got Wi-Fi set up.
That's important.
And, each week I never know what new state of development it will be.
Right.
As again, they're building a house there. And I'm like, so, it's basically me sitting here, the microphone, and I'm in a laptop looking right at me. So
Yeah.
it's like the whole concert, it's right here, at the end of my
Immediate.
arms. Yeah. And I'm like, I push go and then just start singing into the TV screen,
Yeah.
looking back. It's really funny, but I'm enjoying. I would never have done that before.
Mm-hmm.
This is all pandemic.
Sure.
We're all learning as we go. So
You're damn right.
So there it was. There's a lot of. There was the beginning. The beginning was the location was. It was like kind of last minute.
Right.
And they like shut down all the clubs and like somebody came up. Hey, there's this way you can have a gig. That one was over top of a fella's that I didn't even know. It was like come to this address. And I was over top of the loft, possibly could have been the loft apartment of a custom car garage.
Mm-hmm.
So this was just like that press board wood everywhere,
Yeah.
and like up in an attic, and it was like. And I was like, meet the family's going to help me do this. And I was like, hello, everybody I don't know. But like, that's like, it's been fan driven. Like,
Yeah.
hey, I've got a computer and I'm not scared of you. Come do it at my place,
Well,
it's cool.
You do such a stripped down thing so well. I mean, how have you been able to sort of find the intimacy while staring into that little black mirror of the lens? Like,
Yeah. Well, I think that really is that comes all back to the story. That comes back to the story of the fan, the child fan in me that I protect.
mm-hmm.
Sometimes you got to be your own security and tour manager and bus driver and you go collect money in shady back rooms
Right.
of bars and stuff. And that's sort of the tough exterior guy that I might have to use. But his main objective is to protect the innocent, music-loving fan dreamer, daydream believer boy inside of me. That,
Right.
And so just like back in the auditorium at school, I could always get into the music, no matter what the surrounding was. Once I get into that, I'm transported. So not every gig is going to be, Radio City Music Hall, but they can be. They can be internally. They can be
Right.
inside of you. When I do Headmasters of Mine, like we did tonight, no matter where I'm singing it, student center or coffee shop to, it doesn't matter, like to Red Rocks.
Mm-hmm.
It's all going to get the Red Rocks treatment.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
like I wrote it to sing
Yeah.
in a grand. It's a grand chorus, and no matter what, I won't be daunted. You know what I mean? Like, it won't be
Yeah.
daunted by the surroundings, because that for music is the keys. The music is the liberty and the transportive thing. That's why I went to it in the first place, to escape my reality. You go into your bedroom and you say, well, this is growing up in the suburbs of my house on this street, and with this hand I've been dealt. But you could always pull a record from anywhere and put the headphones on and just escape inside that music and be like, here's a band from Liverpool, and I'm there.
Yeah.
Because they're song after song, they're taking me, talking about streets and things and places that I long to be one day, and so you can sing it into anywhere. It doesn't matter where we're at. We're going to get it on, and I'm going to give it all I got, because it's a responsibility to myself first and foremost. And if the listeners benefit from that responsibility, that again, I have first to myself, and then the trickle down is then you'll be getting a good show. So a lot of times I'll be complimented by people who, and this has been throughout my career, whether it's like, oh man, there was only this many of us. But it's not like you shorted the show. It's not like you didn't give it all you got. You played. You gave us the still full two hours until the club starts flicking the lights, man. But we still paid our cover charge, and it wasn't, so you still honored like it was Red Rocks.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
you bring it anyway. And I'm like, absolutely. That's every night you go to bed, you hope that you did the best you can with your opportunity at bat. So that's what I do.
Well, thank you for sharing that with us this evening, Jeffrey. And folks at home, the Stage It show is tomorrow night, Sunday at 8 p.m. I believe the address is stageit.com/Jeffrey_Gaines, although I believe a Google search will probably just yield all the answers to all your questions.
Yeah.
And of course, Jeffrey will be gracing our stage here at Sellersville Theater on October 1st, unless craziness happens, unless 2020 continues to be erratic.
I think no matter what happens, we should honor that date.
We'll do this again, maybe.
If it's this, we'll.
Well, this has certainly been an absolutely enjoyable experience for me, Jeffrey. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
The crowd is going wild in the comments section. Tons of applause, tons of comments, people going crazy. Friends, remember the way that even more than your comments and your clicks, please send your contributions over on Venmo and PayPal. The addresses are on your screen. The links are in the comments section. And, of course, join Jeffrey live tomorrow on Stage It and here at Sellersville Theater on October 1st. Jeffrey, can you play us out of here?
Let's see.
What a...
Love, I get so lost sometimes. Days pass and this emptiness fills my heart. When I want to run away, I drive off in my car. But whichever way I choose, I come back to the place you are. And all my instincts, well, they return, and the grand facade so soon will burn. Without a noise, without my pride, I reach out from the inside. Oh, oh, in your eyes, the light, the heat, I am complete. I see the doors to 1,000 churches, resolution of all my fruitless searches. Whoa, I see the light and the heat. Yes, I want to be that complete. I want to touch the light, the heat I see in your eyes. Love, I don't like to see so much pain, so much wasted, and each moment is slipping away. Well, I get so tired, working so hard for our survival. But I look to these times with you, and it keeps me awake and alive. And all my instincts, they return, and the grand facade so soon will burn. Without a noise, without my pride, I reach out from the inside. Oh, in your eyes, the light, the heat. I am complete. See the doorway, 2,000 churches. Resolution of all my fruitless searches. Whoa, I see the light and the heat. Yes, I want to be that complete. I want to touch the light, the heat I see in your eyes. Ooh, in your eyes. Ooh, in your eyes, yeah. Thanks for coming, everybody. See you soon.
Jeffrey Gaines, thank you so much for being here. Friends, that was incredible. I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. Jeffrey Gaines, visit him online, Google him, find all of his social medias and his website, of course. See him tomorrow night on stageit/Jeffrey_Gaines, or just Google it, or see him here on Sellersville Theater stage on October 1st. Find it on st94.com. This is Soundbooth Sessions. We do this every week, every Saturday at 9 p.m., except, of course, next week is July 4th, so we'll be dark that evening. But we'll see you on the 11th with Christine Havrilla. Very excited for that. What else do I have to say? If you want to support Sellersville Theater in the Washington House restaurant, please visit us on the web, st94.com and washingtonhouse.net. We are now open because Bucks County is green, so make your reservations to come to the Washington House in person, and we will see you there. And, of course, the best way you can support is continue to support live and live-streamed music. Find the artists you love and support them with your clicks, your comments, and your contributions. Thank you, folks. Good night.